Hello, you lovely being. I am so glad you're here. I have a ton of stuff to share with you, and I've been out of here for a while, so I'm glad to be back. I hope that you're doing really well, and I hope that you are killing all of those New Year's resolutions if you made them, and if you've already broken some of those goals or those resolutions, then I'm here for you because I understand. And that's kind of what this video is about letting go of the typical, ideas of how to start the new year and what you're gonna be and brand new year, brand new me kind of thing. So I have my best video ideas and thoughts when I sit down to have me time in the evening, and I will be either listening to music or I'm always usually tossing around some oracle cards or tarot cards and kind of feeling out my energy for the day or for whatever I'm going to do, and I get the most profound thoughts and ideas and downloaded quotes, I guess, not quotes per se, but just things that come through from a higher space, from my divine higher self. So so I wrote down a few notes here. At the end of the video, I'm going to share with you a few people that on this platform that I have found, which have truly made such an impact on my life and my practice and my journey. So I really want to share that with you. And I also have like a handful of books that I want to also share with you. So basically, I want to let you know that you've been too hard on yourself. And I'm your mother now. Don't try to fit things into a cookie cutter brand new way of doing things. It's time to focus on you and going deep, and that can be kind of scary, but it is so necessary. We are moving out of a time frame where things have to get done, where everyone is about going and achieving things, and I guess I'd have to say result-based mentality, I guess. Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of go over the things that I wrote down here and elaborate on them, so you can grab a pen, you can jot some of these things down or not, and yeah. Have you had your water today? Make sure to hydrate. See, I'm your mom. So, the first thing is the greatest gift that you can give to this planet or anyone in your life is the gift of yourself. Now, you might think that's a little cheesy, and maybe it is for a minute, but if you really think about it, you are the most important gift that you can give to anyone, because you're either really on and putting out the best that you are, or you're hiding that from the world. And that's why I started this channel, is because I have so much to share with you. I have so much to tell you. I have made some incredible choices in my life, and I have made some really not good choices. But because of that, I've had a lot of experience and a lot of digging myself out and finding what works and what doesn't work. And I will tell you that putting yourself first works. And everything else, results-based, like these goals that you might set and things that you want to achieve, you can do that without really getting personal with yourself and getting to know yourself or putting yourself first, but I think that they'll fall flat. So yeah, literally the greatest gift that you can give this planet is you. And so let's talk about that a little bit more. In witchcraft, a lot of the past magicians and witches have spoken about the great work. And especially if you do any practical magic or ceremonial magic or anything like that, then you've heard it spoken of as the great work. Now, yes, witchcraft is definitely, I think, what they were addressing, but I think that the greatest work is within, and we don't put ourselves first enough. So wintertime is not just freaking cold and miserable and gloomy and, you know, all the typical things that if you don't really care about winter that you might think of. Winter it's a teacher. And just like with the cycles, there's cycles all over the place. And if you tap into that and you follow nature, then you're gonna know what to do. You know, you're gonna know what to do. Wintertime teaches us to be still and to go in and rest, you know? And that's very important, you know, kind of pulling out of all of the hustle and bustle and taking time to just be still and listen to yourself and your thoughts, you know, because at the end of the day, this lifetime of yours, of course there are other people added into the mix, but it's about you, and it's about things that you want to achieve and things that you want to do and who you want to be and how you want to show up. And you can't do that if you don't dig deep. What would putting you first look like? And that is what I mean is not necessarily getting a new haircut or going to the gym and losing a few pounds. Not that that's not a beautiful thing, but it's not about all the typical things that you hear. You know, it's not about necessarily once a month having a spa day. I'm talking about every single day putting you first. And what if you had the idea, or you took on the mentality that nothing needs to be fixed? Like you're not, when you're going within, it's not, you're not fixing anything. You're uncovering things, you know. That's what this is about. There's nothing to fix within you. This is about taking off these cloaks and these ideas and these false beliefs and storylines that you have built up and that you have ingrained in your mind because you have such a history of telling yourself that you're not good enough, or you're not this or that, or you're too much of this and too much of that. But there's nothing to fix. There's nothing wrong with you. And what if there was nothing to do? You know, can you imagine that? Can you imagine, like, literally having taken on that attitude within yourself that there's nothing that has to be done? I know, for instance, the way that this thought came to me, I was in a funk, and I was sitting in meditation, and just, it was one of those meditations where you have all these thoughts and you can't just kind of put them, it's not the cloud moving beyond the screen of your mind. I couldn't get away from them. And I was like, geez, how can I stop, you know, the racing thoughts? Or how can I, you know, get beyond this little struggle or this little whatever was going on? And then all of a sudden, like I said, I get my little spiritual download, and I hear, what if there was nothing to do? You know, just be in that moment. Just be in that thought process. If you're in a crappy mood, okay, don't try to get out of it. Sit with it. What if there was nothing to do? You're supposed to be exactly where you are. You're supposed to have the emotions that you do, because everything that happens around you and happens to you is for you. And that was something that really, really hit me hard this last year, was every single thing that happens is supposed to happen, because it puts you into a space of realizing that you don't have to fix anything, and realizing that you don't have to do anything. And if you allow yourself to sit with whatever's going on in your life, whatever struggle or obstacle or, you know, whatever that's going on, if you just Just be there, recognize it, see it, don't resist it, just be in it. Allow yourself that. What if you just started? What do I mean when I say, what if you just started? Well, start doing things that you're not used to doing. Now, my spiritual practice, my witchcraft, my spiritual journey is all encompassing. And I mean, I look at all the things and I dip into all the things, you know, different spiritual practices and different philosophies and theories. Start looking at different things, you know. My dog's about to start barking because the UPS truck is here, and yeah, maybe he won't. We'll go with it. Start reading. And I know some people don't like to read. You can do audiobooks if that's your cup of tea, more so than actually sitting down with a book. Personally, I love a new book. I love the smell of it. I love the feel of it. I instantly feel more intelligent when I start reading. It's the truth. I just do. And put me in a library or a bookstore. Woo! So start reading different kinds of books. A lot of the reading material that I've gotten has been because I will watch a video and somebody will mention a book and I'll be like, okay, let me check that out. And so, yeah. Listening to different people. And when you go outside of your comfort zone and you actually start listening to different channels, or, you know, something that's outside of what you normally listen to, you can get some really, really incredible insights. And yeah, and speaking of that, I just want to let you know too, I have a video on synchronicities. When you start to lean into yourself and you start to really, really focus on co-creating the world that you're living in and that you're existing in, something magical happens, and these synchronicities will come in, and you, like I said, you could be like maybe even coming here, you know, when I list off to you the books that have changed me in many ways and given me a lot of insights. I'm going to give that to you, and hopefully that will open up new doors for you. So always just kind of listen to what other people say, and I don't know, take inspiration from lots of different sources. And the other thing that I wrote down here is questioning. Now, question everything. And that's something that I really, really tapped into this year, was questioning, you know, not only what I watch and listen to and read, because obviously they're not the end all be all. It's the same with what I give you here. These are just pointers and tips based on my experience. And I question everything. Another thing that I wrote down is let your light shine. And again, that sounds cliche. That's okay. We're gonna just go with it. Let your light shine. Each and every one of us have a special gift inside, and we need to let that out into the world. And you have a way of expressing yourself and a way of being and doing and living, and you get my point. That's just unique to you, and we need unique people. Oh God, there's a ghost in the house. We're all friends here. Okay, it's probably one of the kitty cats. Yeah, what was I saying? Whew, the ghost wanted to shine its light, I guess. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. I'm shining my light, you know, and I'm stepping out of my comfort zone by actually being on here, to be honest with you. So take off those, you know, those shields and stuff, and stop being afraid and actually step in and shine your own light. One step, just one step towards leaning into you is a signal to the universe that you welcome. I can't read my writing. Yeah. One step towards leaning into you is a signal to the universe that you welcome more support and guidance on your journey. That's the other part of this that is so important, is to understand that you're not alone. Even when you're alone, you're not alone. There is some beautiful force, some divinity out there that created this. This was created, this is for you, and this is about you, and you're being supported 100% of the time. Even when I look back over my past, all the bumps in the roads, all of the Grand Canyons that I've fallen into from making choices that were out of alignment with my highest good, they were actually for my highest good. It all makes sense when I look back, and when I kind of add things up, as you know, and where I am now, it all makes sense. But my point was that when you start to put you first, and you start to lean into the true nature of who and what you are and what you're about and what makes you happy, then you'll find these different things come into your life, and it could be people or just whatever, things will begin to happen. You will be supported in your journey. Something that you should be able to say at the end of every single day, without exception, is that today I showed up for me. Number one, at the end of the day, not I showed up for my kids or my husband or, my sick mom in the hospital or whatever the scenario is. If you didn't show up for you, then when you were with those people, then you weren't really there for them. You didn't really show up for them. Does that make sense? I hope so. The better you are with you, the better you are for them. Another thing to think about is raise your ceiling of belief. Don't limit yourself on what you can achieve. Understand that there is so much that's available to you on any front, financial, emotional, relationship-wise. It's endless. It's infinite. It's important, I think, looking ahead, to let go of fear and guilt and shame and judgment. Those are some things that really, really hold us back and keep us small and keep us locked into the old paradigm and the old way of thinking and feeling and being. How has your routine stayed the same? Shake things up a little bit in your life. See where your routine has remained the same, and that's for you. Obviously, that's for you to decide and see if you can change things. But it's so crazy. Even just the smell in the air can trigger you to do the same thing. The seasons can do that. The time of day can do that. So I don't know, like tonight, if you're right-handed, try brushing your teeth with your left hand. I'm not kidding, try to do it. It's not easy. So now I want to give you some ideas on how to move into this space of getting to know you better and opening up to the importance of putting you first. One of the most important spells that you can cast and that you can put out there is a spell of gratitude. Spells for guidance. You can also do spells that will help you, clear your mind. Ask for your divine higher self to give you guidance in just clearing your mind and removing the old storyline and the old limiting beliefs. That was one of the biggest ones that I worked on this year, was removing these thoughts and these storylines that are alive from my past that are not true. They're just, it's this rut that we get in from the experience that we've had. And so that's all we know up to this point. So you can literally do spells to remove these types of blockages. Think about the shadow work, and you can take it at any any pace that you need to, but dig deep and find out what those lies are that you've been telling yourself, or false beliefs that you're repeating that people maybe have told you or made you believe. It's so about you, and it's so about it's about all of us stepping into our own personal power. So the last part of this is just a couple of ideas for every day, like how to show up for you every day in the easiest, most simple way without it being a big process of things. So the first thing that I want to share with you is meditation. Finding a way to incorporate meditation into every single day is incredibly important. Now, this could be something that you can meditate anywhere and anytime and for any amount of time. And you can listen to affirmations, you can just sit. I have a certain time in the evening that I have set aside for me to meditate and to reflect. And sometimes it's not quiet in here, and I can't get rid of the busy noise that's going on from my little thinking egoic brain that just wants to constantly control everything. But I still make it a point to sit down and try to move into a meditative state. Again, it's just stepping into, leaning into, making time for you. And then the last piece of this is just these three things. Come back to breath. Remind yourself that you are connected to everything. And gratitude. If you can, in any moment, just take a moment and take a few deep breaths in and out. Remind yourself, you are here now, and that is all that's important. And gratitude. Just show gratitude for just this moment, even if it's chaotic or hectic, So I want to give you a peek at the books that have really, really, really moved me. So here are some of the books that I have read over the last year. Actually, this first one, I have already read, and it was a while ago. But this one is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and it's a fantastic book. Another one that is incredibly important to me is The Power of Intention, Learning to Co-Create Your World Your Way. And this is by Wayne Dyer, a magnificent soul. And if he can hear me now, thank you, thank you, thank you. This book, not only is it so impactful on your spirit and your soul, and really good for witches, I must say, because intention is incredibly important. But also too, the artwork in here, like every single page is just packed with this beautiful artwork. So check it out. If you haven't jumped into tarot and you want to, or even if you are a beginner tarot reader, this is a really good one. It's 78 Degrees of Wisdom, a tarot journey to self-awareness. The next book is The Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. If you don't know about the Gene Keys, I would say maybe pop online or go on. He actually has a channel, a YouTube channel. His name is Richard Rudd, and it's the Gene Keys. Because for me to try to explain it to you, I'd be on here for longer than I already have. So, but it's incredible. It's the Gene Keys, Embracing Your Higher Purpose, and it is amazing. It has changed my mind about so many things, so check it out. The Rebel Witch by Kellyanne Maddox. This book was so good, because you know what? She's literally one of the most beautiful souls that I have seen on this platform. She's She's open. She just puts it out there, and you know, you can feel her true essence coming across through the videos. And that's what I really love, is that you can actually, it's not cookie cutter witchcraft, it's just being your own damn witch. Be exactly what you are, who you are, and don't apologize for it. So last but not least is this. This is called the Severed Moon. Now what this does is it gives you these little things here, and it's like just like a little prompt, like a journal prompt, which definitely works better for me because I just can't seem to commit to sitting down and writing in my journal. I always find something else comes up, or it just doesn't work out. And so I thought I would try this method, and this is really cool. I'll read this one to you that came up the other day. I looked up at the star-filled sky. The night was velvety black and strewn with jewels. The hunger struck me suddenly. I want them, I thought. All that light, all that power. I want it all. So it'll just say something like that, and then whatever comes into your mind, you go ahead and you go and write about that. And so what that brought up within me was, and I realized I am that. I am the velvety jewel-covered light. I am it all. Working on truly embracing this, I love. And so that was it, but I find that it's easier to actually have those prompts to inspire my journaling than just going after it. So if you've stayed this long, thank you so much for being here, and I hope this has helped you. And until the next time, stay magical and be blessed.